Welcome back to the Hank's Strange Situation, Lifestyles of the Locked and Loaded.
Welcome back to the channel. I'm Hank Strange. Today I want to talk to you about drone registration. About 2 years ago I did a video called Just Say No to Drone Registration. Yes, I'm definitely against that sort of nonsense. And today, breaking news, drone registration has been declared a no-go. Now, this just came out like sometime overnight. And here we go. I'm going to read this article. This particular one is in Popular Science, but if you search drone registration, you're going to see there's quite a few articles out on it, and it says court ruling means you no longer have to register consumer drones with the FAA. So this was in a District of Columbia and court ruling, and let's see, let's go here. So in the FAA Modernization and Reform Act of 2012, Congress specified special rules for model airplanes flown for hobby or recreational purposes and charged the FAA with creating rules to govern the growing field of small unmanned aerial vehicles, specifically ones that fell outside this hobbyist / model airplane exemption in December 2015. The FAA announced that all owners of unmanned vehicles weighing more than 250 grams, and the article says roughly as much as 2 sticks of butter, had to register as a drone operator in a national database of drone users. Last week's ruling, so this came out last week, I guess it's just hitting the news right now. Last week's ruling, brought on behalf of a Washington, D.C. model airplane enthusiast, said that in creating this registry, the FAA overstepped the bounds of its legal mandate under the 2012 reauthorization, chiefly the rule regarding model airplanes. So, you know, basically Congress passed something trying to regulate drones, and there's heavier professional grade drones that lots of different companies and individuals and small companies are using, and they wanted to create some laws, but they didn't want this to apply to, like, I mean, right now the popular drones out there, for example from DJI, these are really lightweight things, so they didn't want it to apply to that, but the FAA overstepped. So let's see here, let me continue. So plainly put, people who fly drones for hobby or recreational reasons are now exempt from the drone registry. The ruling also had the effect of turning a federal catalog of all legal unmanned vehicle owners into an outdated, legally murky database of people who register a drone in the past 2 years, some of whom are no longer subject to the registration requirement. So if you go on here, you'll see that about 800,000 people did that. So I think if we, you know, I think it was like $5 or something like that. So you're probably looking at, like, I don't know, I think it's like $4 million worth of money they collected. And most of those people didn't have to register drones in the first place. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what they're going to do with this database. I really think it was, you know, a silly thing. In my personal opinion, I don't believe that these kinds of drones can bring down planes and do all the damage that they're talking about. Now, do I think that people should be irresponsible when flying drones, even these small consumer level ones? Absolutely not. I think you know, obviously you should use common sense, be responsible, think about what you're doing, be safe, think about your own safety as well as other people's safety. Absolutely, that's 100% true, and I agree with that. I just think that, you know, really and truly, this doesn't rise to the level of something that has to be regulated like this, and that people have to be forced into doing. If you're doing this as a profession, if you're doing this professionally, you know, you're getting contracts, you're out there, you know, flying heavier drones and working commercially, okay, I mean, maybe that's something else. Most of us are doing it as a hobby. Some of us, like myself, I'm doing it because I make videos, and this is just like a little bit above a toy somewhere around a camera, right? it's really not something that can do this kind of damage. I mean, we've got drones nowadays that you can put in your pocket. I don't have my drone that I put in that video 2 years ago, because I sold that planning on upgrading, and then I kind of slowed down my upgrade because of all these laws, and now I'm going to be back in the market, you know, looking to get another drone. I'm thinking the Mavic Pro. Let me know what you guys think out there. Yeah, so this is good news. I suggest you guys read up on this. And another thing, you know, last year, or I think it was the end of last year, early this year, Canada jumped in on this and decided that they were going to create even more draconian rules than America has. Yeah, Canada, what's wrong with you? You know, I mean, pretty much in Canada, it's illegal to do anything with your drone. You know, there's so many different restrictions, and like, you can't fly here, you can't fly here, you can't fly here. And when you put those things together, everyone falls within a bubble of a place where you can't fly. There's guys who've put out videos about that. I know, like I said, in 2015, when I put out a video about it, I got a lot of support from people out there, but there were people complaining like, yeah, you gun guys, you never want to register anything. Why should we have to register and get into a database and all that kind of stuff? I think if someone's irresponsible and creates damage, it's pretty easy to track them down, just like with a lot of other things that we have out there, right, that we don't register. Why create more things that we have to register? And even things like a car that you register, you have to have licenses for and all that, people do damage with it. And so registering it doesn't make someone responsible, doesn't stop them from doing damage. As we see in the world that we live in today, there's so many things that people can do bad things with. So now, do we have to start registering everything? What, like, we had this incident in Manchester in the UK. Do we need to register backpacks? You know, I mean, come on. It's at some point here, it gets crazy with registering stuff. And with these, I mean, 250 grams, what kind of damage do you really think this drone could do? Can't really do a lot of damage. So I want to keep this brief. I wanted to share this with you guys and let you know that, yeah, a federal District of Columbia court has walked back that whole drone registration thing. For most people, that doesn't mean that we're out of the woods. I'm sure that someone's going to challenge that and keep pushing this issue. If they got $4 million, hey, I'm sure they would like to get $40 million and just keep going and just keep creating databases on people. But you got to say no. Thanks for watching. I'm Hank Strange. Thanks for the support from everyone out there. If you want to know how to support us, we're on Patreon/Hank Strange. And if you want to look us up on social media, just search Hank Strange. Peace out.